Mahesh Jetmalani, if the government cannot decide on the death sentence, if Afzal Guru is such a political hot potato that the government, even after the sentence was passed in 2006, cannot decide, then why not simply, like all the countries of the European Union, do away with the death penalty?
Well, I don't think the government wants to do away with the death penalty. It wants to have that option. Don't forget, it was the same Congress government that very expeditiously decided Kehar Singh's mercy petition in the assassination case of Mrs. Gandhi. His mercy petition was dealt with swiftly, expeditiously, and he was hung. So I don't think the government really they want to keep this option, but it's a tragedy. And by the way, it was in 2006 when the Supreme Court finally pronounced Afzal Guru as guilty. It was 2005.
Right.
It's been 4 years now, and it's a travesty of justice. It's a complete shame, both from the accused's point of view, the prosecution's point of view, and indeed society's point of view, that this hanging sword of Damocles should be kept for such a long time over the head of the accused.
Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, there's a bad Ajit joke which says liquid oxygen mein maar do. Oxygen liquid marne nahi dega, liquid jeene nahi dega, oxygen marne nahi dega. It's the same sort of thing that you're doing with Afzal Guru. Why not put the man out of his misery and decide one way or the other whether to hang or in fact whether to commute it into a life imprisonment sentence?
I think this is the whole problem with this debate. Whenever this debate is thrown up by a judgment here or a comment there, you reduce it to a one-liner on Afzal Guru. Just put things in perspective, Sagrika. There are 24 people at last count in May 2009 on death row. The earliest of them was convicted in 1987, and the Supreme Court confirmed his death sentence in 1998. There are 24 of them till May 09, like that. They include Rajiv Gandhi's killers. Number 22 in the list of 24 is Afzal Guru. Now, let's stop playing politics. I think it's a very real issue. All governments, certainly the NDA, and to an extent the Congress government subsequently, there has been a delay. Now, what are the reasons? Part of the reason is there have been presidents of India who have had an approach that death penalty should not be implemented. There was a period when hardly any death penalty was implemented because of presidential pendency. But equally, don't play politics, because the NDA is repeatedly saying what? It is saying that pluck out Afzal Guru at number 22, execute him, forget about the entire list pending of 24, now probably 28. That's the politics of it. Maybe because
but the point is, isn't the government basically sitting on all these mercy petitions because of Afzal Guru? It's Afzal Guru that is holding up all these mercy petitions. You can't decide on any of them. Because if you do, there will be a public outcry. And they'll say, why aren't you deciding on Afzal Guru?
That's a very important question. There's a very important question you are raising, and that's precisely the point. Your question illustrates is exactly the opposite. Perhaps Afzal Guru is not being dealt with because of a pendency of 22 cases prior to him. Right through, in fact, the earliest one of them starts with the Supreme Court confirmation in 1998, the year the NDA started. The chart is presented by me personally in the Rajya Sabha and Parliament. Now that chart has Rajiv Gandhi's killers. All of them right through 98 to 2004 were not moved at all. But I'm not doing politics on this. What I'm saying is, there are issues to be addressed. I think the time has come.
But the politics is overwhelming. The politics is overwhelming. It's a political hot potato. You know how Modi used it in the 2007 assembly elections. But let me get in Harsh Mandar here. Let me get in Harsh Mandar here. Harsh Mandar, there clearly is no moral consensus on the death penalty. There are abolitionists, there are anti-abolitionists. Should a country like India, where the death penalty is such a political hot potato, as it is in the case of Afzal Guru, should we in fact just abolish the death penalty and just stick to life imprisonment?
I think that, I agree very much with Abhishek that it's a question that, precedes Afzal Guru and is well beyond that individual case. It's a much bigger ethical question. I think it's, a test of a civilized society is how it treats its most its worst transgressors. It's also, about whether our purpose is revenge. Is society trying to take revenge, or is it trying to deter? And if it is trying to deter further crime, then there's evidence from all over the world that capital punishment never has, reduced has had an impact on less crime or less heinous crime than when there is no capital punishment. So I think India should take a humane, civilized view, follow much of the rest of the world, and separate it from the specifics of a particular case.
But you know, Harshmandar, the question could be raised, and it is argued that if you only have life imprisonment, then you could have situations like Nalini, who today is now demanding the release, her premature release after she served 18 years. You could have hardened criminals who are sentenced to life imprisonment, who are walking free because of parole, because of remissions, who are not actually getting the punishment they deserve because of the loopholes in the law and in life imprisonment.